What is going on, everyone? My name is Alpha, and today we're back with another Pokemon Challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon Sun, which is a Gen 7 game, and today's challenge will be can we beat Pokemon Sun using only regional variants. So what regional variants are is that in Generation 7 and 8, there were new Pokemon forms of older Pokemon, these including mostly Kanto Pokemon in this game. These regional forms have new typing, new designs, and they're just based off of the original concept of the Pokemon. Now the problem is there's some not available to us, like we are playing Ultra Sun, so we're not able to get the Sandshrew, the Alolan Sandshrew, and that is a bit of a problem, but we can make a full team out of these Alolan variants, and that's what we're gonna do to beat the game. This challenge was recommended to me in the comments down below, so thank you so much for the challenge. But every Pokemon will be nicknamed after you guys. Thank you so much for leaving comments with nicknames in the comment section below. If you guys want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my challenge video, just leave it in the comments below, and eventually I'll pick yours, hopefully. I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel, and if you guys are excited for this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas, and also subscribe if you guys are not already. So let's get into the challenge. Now the biggest thing I hate about this challenge is that I kind of have limitations on what Pokemon I can use. They can evolve, so that's the great thing, but unfortunately some of these Pokemon I don't really like. As you can tell, I've never used Alolan Rattata or Alolan Raticate. I don't know what they really do in terms of battling, but of course, you know, I gotta speed through the game using it. Luckily for us, it has Hustle as an ability, so it does a lot of damage for us. It's a decent starting Pokemon, but as you can see, sometimes it just fails us and we actually end up losing a lot of times. Actually heading into the first totem Pokemon we can fight, which is a totem Gumshoos, we actually lose our first attempt to it because we kept missing moves. Now we come back to it, we actually be able to beat it down. We get our first Z Crystal, which obviously will give us a buff to normal type moves. Unfortunately for us, we're going to be stuck with some weak moves for a very long time. We do end up getting some early game good moves, however they don't translate well to the end game, so that's a bit of a dodgy thing. We head into the Kahuna fight against Hala. Now the problem with Hala is he's a fighting type Kahuna, so it doesn't mix well with my dark type Pokemon, so we actually end up losing our first try with it, and then we had to come back. In the Pokemon School we are able to catch Alolan Meowth and nickname it. From there, we're going to train up our Pokemon. We're going to actually evolve our Alolan Rattata to an Alolan Raticate. That is going to be very useful to us because now we have a fully evolved Pokemon on our team, and we're going to dish out some nice damage. Apparently, you have to evolve at night, so I have to switch my time into nighttime. And now heading into the fight against Hala. Hala's going to be a bit difficult, but luckily with the overpowerness of Raticate, we could take down most of his team. I take down his Mankey first try, and then the Crabrawler unfortunately knocks out my Meowth, but don't worry, my Raticate will finish things off against both his Pokemon, and that is done for Hala. So that's thank you, and luckily that worked out for me. But from here, we're gonna actually sail into the next island, which is Akala Island. We're gonna beat down Dexio here, and then head into this little farm village, and then head into the next trial, which is Lana's trial, the water trial of the game. Sometimes I miss out on the forms, but eventually I'll get to a form and catch it. I have a specific team I kind of want to make out of these Pokemon, so it doesn't include 2 dark types, so I don't know why I'm using 2 dark types, but I am. From here, we're actually going to head into the next trial, which is going to be Lana's trial, the water trial of the game, which is going to be a Wishy-Washy. Wishy-Washy is not going to be too strong of a totem to fight against. We're going to start with our Raticate. Our Raticate actually does half to it on the first hit, and luckily for it, and lucky for us, even with the Citrus Berry, it's not going to be too much of a threat. It changes us into a water type, which is not a big issue at all because we're gonna Hyper Fang it down. It doesn't knock it out, but it does make it go into a school mode, which, you know, a single Wishy-Washy is not a threat at all, and we could beat down the next 2 and get a free XP, and we beat down that trial. From here, we're actually gonna be able to catch the next Pokemon on our team, which, you know, after the battle arena where we clap down some Pokemon, we actually catch a Cubone. Now Cubone in this form is a Kanto form. However, it actually evolves into the Alolan Marowak. We're going to spend our time training up. With the XP share, it's actually pretty easy to train up Pokemon. And luckily for us, you know, unfortunately, we do not get the chance to evolve it right before the next totem fight. It actually does awful against the totem fight. We fight against the totem Salazzle, and it just gets destroyed. It gets obliterated by this Salazzle, unfortunately. I was trying to evolve it right before it, but it didn't work out for me. And then my Raticate actually just knocks it out. It torments and then taunts me. I crunched it and then I breakneck blitz it, and just beat down the Salandit, and that's it for that totem. That totem did not do too much against me. From here, I'm going to train up my Cubone a little bit more. I'm trying to get it to a Marowak. I have to evolve it at nighttime again, but it's not too big of a deal. Eventually, I do end up evolving up the Cubone into a Marowak, and luckily, it's a decent Pokemon because we kind of need it for the next few trials. Decent fire type Pokemon as Marowak, it doesn't come, like, that should be the question of the day, because I don't know what fire types you would choose besides your starter, because there's not a lot of fire type Pokemon that are like good options. But anyways, heading into the Lurantis totem fight, obviously Marowak is going to obliterate this. I even put pity on it and started attacking the cast form, you know, on accident. But you know, I gave pity on it to see what it could do. It just doesn't do anything, and I gotta beat it down with Flame Charge. We got Flame Charge from Colress, and you know, it's a decent move. Well, we also catch a Diglett around the area, and you know, that's going to be obviously an Alolan Diglett. It's going to be pretty useful. We beat down the totem for Lurantis and then head into Diglett's Cave. Now, Diglett's Cave is not going to be too much of an issue. We're going to head to the opposite side and head into a Kahuna fight against Olivia. Olivia is going to be the rock type Kahuna of the island, and she doesn't do too well against Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak completely walls the nose pack. It just decides not to hit me at all, which is odd. I don't know why it just doesn't want to hit me. It just uses Thunder Wave, keep raising my special attack, which is cool, but I don't have any special attacking moves. And then the Lycanroc comes out. It actually Z moves me and knocks me out, which is a bit of a pain, but luckily I have a Persian in the back, and the Persian will knock it out. And it's just me just trying to train up my Diglett. Poor Diglett does not get a chance, and gets knocked out, and that's over for Diglett. From here, we're going to head into the Aether Paradise and beat down Nihilego, and then beat down our rival Hau. From here, we're going to actually head into the Electric Trial, which is led by Sophocles. Sophocles can be an interesting person of interest. We train up our Diglett, evolve it into a Duxtrio. Unfortunately, it's not going to be too good against this totem fight. This totem fight is going to be against the Vigavolt. Vigavolt has Levitate for an ability. It's not a great Pokemon, but I mean, as you can see, the totem and the helping Pokemon just get completely walled out by my Marowak. Marowak's pretty good with his Lightning Rod, and eventually Marowak just destroys both Pokemon down, and that's about it for him. It does lower my accuracy, but it doesn't matter when you're doing no damage. From here, we're actually going to meet up against Guzma for the first time in our adventure. We're gonna knock him down pretty easily with our Persian. It takes down my Raticate, but that's a small price to pay. From here, we're going to actually catch our next Pokemon, which is going to be Alolan Vulpix. Alolan Vulpix, obviously the Alolan version of normal Vulpix, is an ice type in this game, and it evolves by an Ice Stone, so we have to find that sooner or later. Heading into the next trial, which is going to be the Ghost Trial. I don't know what's going on here. I can't catch the Hunter on my screen, but that doesn't matter, because once we head into the Mimikyu fight, a bit of trouble arises. You know, most of my Pokemon keep dying. They're weak to either ghost or fairy types, so it's very not the best team. Luckily, I put a Screech on it, lower its defenses, and then, you know, I sacrificed my Vulpix, but then I sent out my Raticate. Luckily, I lowered the defense on it. It does a lot of damage, does not knock it out, but then both the Pokemon missed their moves, and that is done for the Mimikyu. And of course, another crunch will knock out the Hunter, and we are done with the Ghost Trial. We got very close in losing that if my Raticate went down, but luckily it didn't. We're gonna fight against one of the Team Skull admins and just destroy her. Destroy her in a loose term. We do struggle a little bit, but we don't struggle that much. Speaking of Team Skull, we're actually gonna head into Po Town. Po Town is Team Skull's headquarters and also home of a very special item for us. We're gonna actually head into the mansion of Guzma's, and we're gonna find an Ice Stone for us. Ice Stone is going to allow us to evolve our Vulpix into an Alolan Ninetales, and from there we could head into the Guzma fight. The Guzma fight is a bit harder than I expected. I mean, most of my Pokemon are kind of weak to bug moves. The Golisopod gets a Swords Dance up and starts being scary, but luckily we knock it down to half HP. We knock the Arios down with our Dugtrio, and then I finish things off with my Raticate, of course. Finish things off, then head into, you know, a bit of training, fight our rival Gladion, and head into the Kahuna fight against Napu. Napu actually beat me down pretty bad the first time, but second time around, I actually come back and I almost lose again. Luckily I didn't. Krokorok actually Earthquakes me down, and then, you know, luckily I have an Alolan Dugtrio in the back. Sucker Punch the Krokorok and then knocks him out, and that is it for Napu. I mean, a bit dangerous, more dangerous than I expected. From here, we're gonna actually head into the Aether Foundation, and we're gonna do some nice, a little bit of grinding here, get some nice levels on our Ninetales for what to come. Obviously, we're gonna head into the next Guzma fight after a few Aether Foundation fight double battles, beat down the Team Skull members, and then fight Guzma for one last time. Guzma, I put Guzma down to half HP to begin with, then knock down his Masquerain. Gillespie comes out. I'm gonna knock it down pretty low with my Marowak. Unfortunately, my Marowak is knocked out, but then Persian cleans things up. Same thing with Pinsir. Pinsir's gonna not do too much to me. I lied. Pinsir knocks me out. But luckily, I actually clutched things up with the rest of my team. My Raticate will beat down his Ariados, and that is it for Guzma. From here, we're gonna beat down Lusamine for the first time. Lusamine gets her team's kind of bad right now, but as we could tell, it gets harder as the game goes on. So from here, we beat Lusamine. Lusamine gets sucked into the portal, and then we're gonna actually head into Ula Ula Island. Ula Ula Island will be the last island of the game, and we are going to do the little psychic puzzle here, and then head into Exeggutor Island. Exeggutor Island will be home of the last Pokemon on our team, Exeggutor. Alolan Exeggutor is one of the most iconic Pokemon from Alola because it's just so drastic from its normal appearance. And then from there, we're gonna actually head into the final trial of the game, which is going to be the Dragon Trial. Obviously consists of the Kommo-o. It's a bit difficult. It starts beating down all my Pokemon. Luckily, I did lower its speed using my Dugtrio, knock it pretty low using my Alolan Ninetales, and then my Alolan Raticate will actually knock out the Kommo-o for me, and then my Marowak will finish things off against the Scizor, and that's it for that trial. And now heading into Ultra Space. Our Ultra Space will be the final battle against Lusamine. Lusamine's kind of annoying. Luckily, I actually get +6 against the Clefable. Luckily, on this attempt, I don't want to talk about the other attempt. If Sheer Cold me one of that attempts, and I don't want to talk about it. But here in this situation, I got +6 using Workup, using my Dugtrio, and it doesn't do too much with Metronome. And then I'm able to knock it out. And then next comes out is Milotic. Milotic will take a lot from the Sucker Punch and then knock me out in return, but my Raticate will finish things off against it. Bewear comes out. Luckily, I have a Ninetales to knock out the Bewear. And then Mismagius comes out, and I'm going to use my Persian to knock out the Mismagius. Unfortunately for that, I gotta, it has Pain Split, so I can't really damage it reasonably. I gotta Nasty Plot up and then do all the damage then. And finally, her last Pokemon will be Lilligant. It's getting Teeter Dance me, but luckily I break through the confusion twice and knock it out with a Power Gem. And that should be it for Lusamine. Really cute cutscene here. We're gonna catch Solgaleo, but that's about it. What we're gonna do. And then we're going to lose to Gladion on our first attempt, which is, surprising. I don't know how we lost to Gladion, but we did. But, coming back, we beat Gladion, and then we're going to head into the Elite Four. The Elite Four will be consisting of 4 pretty strong kahunas of the game. Our first fight against Hala, we're going to start off using our Alolan Ninetales versus his Hariyama. Hariyama's going to do a pretty big chunk to me, I'm not going to lie. But luckily, Ninetales will finish things off. Crabominable beats down my poor low Dugtrio, but Dugtrio does enough damage for Ninetales can knock him out. Primer comes out. I'm just gonna knock it out. I'm just gonna try to hit it with a Dazzling Gleam. Knocks it out. Pretty simple. Bewear comes out. I'm gonna try to do as much damage as I can with it, and then it starts getting really annoying. And then luckily my Raticate can finish things off against the Bewear. And then Poliwrath comes out. I'm gonna knock it out with my Alolan Exeggutor. The first time you ever see that being used. Next up will be against Olivia. Olivia is going to use her Relicanth against my Dugtrio. I'm going to switch out, pull out my Exeggutor again. He doesn't fit on screen, but it doesn't matter. Leaf Storm knocks out the Relicanth. And then, obviously, I'm going to set up a little bit and then knock it out. Unluckily, Probopass has Sturdy, so it lives one attack, and then Earth Powers me, knocks out my Dugtrio. So all that setting up was useless. And then my Marowak cleans up the Probopass, and then Lightning Rock comes out. My Exeggutor comes in clutch again, knocks it out, and then dies to the Golem somehow. But Marowak will finish things off with a Boner Ring around him. Can I say that? I don't think I can say that word. But we do beat down the Golem, and that's it for that Elite Four member. Next up will be the Ghost Elite Four member. I'm gonna set up against the Sableye, knock it out in one hit. Unfortunately, next Pokemon will be Palossand. The next Pokemon will be the Palossand. Palossand will knock out my Dugtrio, but Blizzard will knock it out in return. Dalmines would get knocked out in 2 hits with my Raticate, and then Frostlass, a bit annoying, but gets eventually knocked out by my Persian. And the same thing with Drifloon. Drifloon, I mean, I'm confused, but I mean, it's using focus energy, so I can't really lose. There's no losing in this situation. So we beat down the Ghost Elite Four member, and we're gonna head into the Flying Elite Four member. I don't know why I'm starting with my Dugtrio. I'm not too smart, but eventually my Marowak will knock out the Skarmory for me. Mandibuzz comes out. I'm gonna send out my Alolan Ninetales. Probably the best move for me because it starts using Flatter. Now my special attack rose, and I just gotta bank on not missing a confusion. Luckily, that exactly what happens. She returns her Mandibuzz, sends out her Oricorio, and then my Blizzard will just knock her out. Snap out of confusion, completely wipes out the Oricorio. Mandibuzz comes out in return, gets knocked out as well. Blizzard down the Crobat, and then finish things off against the Toucannon, and then knock it out. Next up, we're going to fight against the champion of the game. I love this little twist at the end where obviously Professor Kokori is the champion of the game. We're going to start off the fight very easily against him. We're going to start out with Dugtrio, like always. He's going to start with Lightning Rock. I'm going to work up right in front of him, just to have it. He's going to start with Rocks. I'm going to work up, and then obviously he's going to do a lot of damage to me, but he's going to lower his speed, and then I'm going to Iron Head him, knock him out, and that's it for Lightning Rock. Next up, the Incineroar. Since I have a workup up, Earthquake will actually knock him out pretty clean. 2 Pokemon down with my 1 Pokemon. Good trades, good trades. Snorlax comes out. Snorlax will take a big hit with Earthquake, but that's not enough to beat him, and he will beat my Dugtrio in return. This time, I'm going to have to Z-move him using my Raticate. Z-move, the normal type move, and then knock out the Snorlax. From here, he's going to send out his Ninetales. I'm going to send out my Marowak, try to get the I'm trying to get the boost. He decides to stay in and let me knock out his Ninetales with my Marowak. And then from there, Braviary will come out. I do try to get a hit off Braviary. I do get one. Not a strong one, but I do get a hit. From here, I'm going to use my Ninetales and then try to knock it down. Use Whirlwind, a bit annoying. Sends out my Raticate. I'm going to try to knock him down. He outspeeds me. Tailwinds up. He then Whirlwinds me away, even though I got him low enough. But since it's low enough, it's going to use a full restore on. I'm going to use Dazzling Gleam and then Blizzard to knock him out. Finally, his last Pokemon will be Magnezone. So I miss my Blizzard and then lose my Ninetales, which isn't too big of a problem. I'm gonna send out my Persian. I'm gonna Screech it. I'm gonna Dark Pulse and knock it down slowly, and then I'm gonna send out my Exeggutor. Flash Cannon does not beat me. I will use Wood Hammer. It's slowly there, but it full restores again, and I'm just losing HP using Wood Hammer, and it's not a good trade for me. I end up losing my Exeggutor to the Magnezone, so it's a 1v1. Our first Pokemon versus his last Pokemon. Raticate ends up 2-shots him, so there's nothing to worry about, and I actually beat the Magnezone down with 2 crunches. And that's it for the challenge. It's a pretty fun challenge, I gotta admit. Fun team to make. I don't know why I chose 2 Dark types on my team. I did choose 2 Dark types on my team. A lot of Pokemon weak to Fairy, but Fairy's always been a broken typing, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas, and also subscribe if you guys are not already. My name is Alpha, and I hope you guys all had a great day. I'm out. Peace.